All right, guys, just got my SIG P320 here. We're gonna go do some first shots with it. And we're gonna be shooting from the appendix today, so.
Tanner, don't put it in your pants! Hey, what the, where's the tourniquet? Welcome to Beyond Tactical. Tanner's on his way to the hospital right now because he trusted the 320 in his pants. Bad idea. Anyways, we're still gonna make this video happen because we care about our viewers. So today we're just gonna be talking about SIG versus Glock, and we have here the 320, which is the SIG's full-size gun, the infamous 320. And then we have the Glock 45 here. This is my own custom one. There's a lot of stuff done to it. And then for compacts, we have the Glock 43X. And we have the SIG 320, SIG 365. So the point of this video is just to kind of show you the difference between SIG and Glock in their full size and in their compact offerings. And we're just going to be talking about the pros and cons of each briefly, and then why you would want a SIG versus a Glock in either of the categories. So we obviously can't talk about all 320 configurations, but this one here is the polymer frame. It's got the compact slide. It's the X Carry, like Navy SEAL edition. Anyways, this one came with a mag well and an extended mag from SIG, which is super nice. Take some shots. So right off the bat, this is just a soft shooting gun. Because it's such a large frame and because it's just such a hefty gun, it just shoots very soft and the recoil is very negligible, even without a compensator. The trigger on these is super nice. It's flat faced. I like the feel of the trigger on these. It's got a nice reset and a very soft pull. Overall, it's a very well shooting gun. The biggest concern with this for appendix carry is just that it is so large, and then also with the trust and reliability issues that SIG has had and them not really coming out and telling the truth, in our opinion, it makes it kind of scary to carry these in the appendix just because you don't want to shoot your precious parts off. So, oh my God! So one last thing about the SIG is that makes it different than the Glock is that the grip angle is much more vertical, and then the bore axis is higher above your hand. So it contributes to, it makes the gun just feel a little bit different in your hands and when you're shooting it. But it's not a terrible thing. It's just something to get used to. So here I have the Glock 45. This is a full-size handle from Glock with the compact slide, and then I have a compensator on it. So that's a little bit of an unfair test compared to the SIG, but whatever. Doesn't need to be too scientific. The grip angle on this is much less vertical. It's more forward than the SIG, and then the bore axis is definitely closer to your hand, which helps the recoil come a little bit back into you more than snapping upwards. We'll go ahead and these are 17 round mags that fit flush, and then no mag well from the factory other than this little flare in the handle. But so it could be due to the compensator, but this is just a even flatter shooting gun than the SIG. It feels lighter weight in the hand. The grip texture is different, but I wouldn't say it's better or worse than the SIG. I will say though that the shape of the Glock handle is less ergonomic. The SIG kind of feels like it feels like the gun is hugging your hand, whereas this is kind of a little bit less natural. For anyone that shoots Glocks, you know that already, and you just kind of get used to it. But so I prefer the trigger on this. It is a rounded trigger. It also has that trigger safety, which the SIG does not have. But some of the controls on the Glock just aren't as nice feeling. Like the mag release is not as snappy, and the mags don't shoot out nearly as fast as on the SIG. Also, the feeling of the mags inserting is not as smooth because they're not metal. And then I will say that the slides are not as smooth on Glocks. The SIGs are very smooth from the factory, but even with all that to say, these are completely trustworthy, and I would never worry about this going off in my pants, so that's a huge factor. Another thing is the Glocks don't have as many configurations from the factory, so you're kind of stuck with upgrading them after you buy them, whereas the SIG, you can just kind of buy a configuration that has everything you want, and then you're done. But yeah, that's kind of my opinion about the Glock and the SIG full size. And now we're going to go to Tanner, and he's going to talk about their concealed carry options.
All right, so obviously it's not funny that guns are just going off in holsters, so that was just a joke. Don't take it offensive. Now I'm going to talk about the 43X, and this is, again, not a perfect comparison because the SIG that we have is the small SIG. So this is comparable to the SIG macro, the 365 macro. Also, this has a red dot, and that one's got iron sights, but we're just going to talk about size, feel. I'm just going to go ahead and shoot it real quick so that way I can give you guys my honest feedback. So this is probably just a small gun thing. It's just super snappy in your hands. The trigger on this one feels good, but I feel a ton of the recoil down here in the lower end, and it just kind of kicks right back into the hand, and it's probably just a concealed carry thing. Overall, the 43X feels really good. It's square, it's ergonomic, like it just feels good in the hand.
That's what she said.
It's not as fat as some of the other Glocks, which I like, and it's actually a pretty good size to conceal carry. All right, thanks Jake for not telling me that I had 2 pairs of glasses on my head. One thing to mention with the Glock 43X is from the factory, this comes with a 10-round mag, and you can get these Shield Arms S15 mags, which hold 15 plus 1. The SIG, however, the small SIG 365 comes with a flush fit 10-round mag, but it's also about an inch shorter than the Glock 43X. And then you could get a 12-round extended mag for those. And the SIG 365 macro, which is the same size as the 43X, comes with a 17-round mag from the factory. All right, so now we're gonna be shooting the SIG P365. This is the small version. How did you put a red dot on this? All right, so now we're gonna shoot the SIG P365. This is the small one. And right here we got the 12-round mag. This is the extended. So it actually feels pretty good in my hands with the extended. With a flush fit, that would feel, I don't like that. My pinky's hanging off the gun. It's just a little too small. This would be a really good gun, just initial first impressions. This would be a good gun for like summertime if you weren't wearing like pants or something, if you're wearing shorts. That would be the best case for this gun, but I think there's definitely better options. We're just gonna shoot it and I'll give you some impressions. Okay, so it's super snappy. I just totally spit all over the gun. All right, so it's super snappy, a lot more than the Glock 43X. However, I personally like the SIG trigger. It's, I've heard from a lot of people that it's, you either love it or hate it. I personally like it. It's got a really nice break to it. And it's just really smooth. Out of the 2 guns, I would say the Glock 43X takes the win for me, just because of how snappy this is. I think if I was to get one, I would definitely get the macro to help cut out some of that vertical recoil. But it is a smooth gun. The grip's nice on it. I like how the thumb spot's smooth. It's actually a nice feature for me, and the stippling on the grip is super aggressive, and it's nice to hold on to. So, but it's just a super tiny gun, and you're gonna find that with all small concealed carry guns is they are snappy. Even adding a compensator, I have the Hellcat Pro, adding that compensator into it, it helps, but they're still just super snappy. But both of these are great options. They're both tested. They're very reliable. This is way more reliable than the P320. I don't think these have ever went off in a holster. I personally know a lot of people that carry these, as well as the 43X. I mean, people love that 43X. I think there are people that don't go to the range very much, but just kidding. So if you are looking for just a tiny little pocket rocket that you can just shove in a pants pocket, or just the smallest options for concealed carrying, I think this would be the way to go. However, if you're looking for something with more usability, maybe you go to the range a little bit more, you actually want to enjoy shooting it and training with it, maybe the SIG Macro and the Glock 43X would be a better option. The benefit with the other ones is the grip's bigger. You don't have to move your pinky out of the way, and you can actually train with reloads.
So obviously this is not a scientific review. It's not a perfect review. We have different configurations for each of the guns. So it's not a direct comparison. But the main takeaway from this video that we wanted to get is that you should judge what you buy off of the actual gun, not necessarily the brand. And by that, I mean the SIG 320, it feels great and everything, but it doesn't have that same reliability or trustworthiness just because of the issues they've had with them. While the SIG 365 has no reliability issues, and it shoots great, and the macro is fantastic, holds 17 rounds, which is crazy, flush fit, and it's the same size as the 43X. So when you're looking at guns, just consider the actual gun. Don't just go off of brand loyalty, because personally, if I was going to buy my arsenal again, I would just get the Glock 45 as my full size, because it's more reliable. I like the feel of it more, better grip angle, better bore axis, but if I was going concealed carry, I'd buy the SIG 365 just because it's way more concealable, super reliable. The magazines fit more rounds than the 43X, and it shoots super smooth. So just think about the actual gun besides just the brand when you're looking for a new firearm. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps us out. And leave a comment if we missed anything or if you have a different opinion. We'd love to hear it and what concealed carry options you guys are running. Yeah, that's it for the video. We'll see you in the next one.